Students, let's continue with the first chapter, The Beginning of the Modern World, from your History and Civics book of grade 8. So it is a continuation of the first chapter, and in the previous video we have learned what is the meaning of the term Renaissance. What are the changes from the medieval period when we are coming to the modern era in our history? What are the changes worldwide? We are studying about the European history. So what are the changes we found all around the world? This is what we have already discussed. Now few more things were discovered and voyages were made. So what are the voyages of discover we have to understand in this chapter. Okay, now this period, this modern era, was a spirit of adventure and to desire to explore the unknown. Not only the places I'll tell, they have explored about the continents, and they have explored about the knowledge also. Okay, not only the land or the continents or the countries they have understood, or they have tried to gain knowledge about the like science and rationalism. Okay, many all the fields, all the social, economical, political fields, all the fields in the society got development. They got to see a new phase, a new change. There was a knowledge, gain of knowledge in each and every sphere of the society. In the mid 15th century, the Ottoman Turks captured Asian Minor and cut off direct land links between Asia and Europe. So as they have disconnected the land link between the Asia and Europe, the trade between these two continents became very difficult. So what they did now was, the Turkish people or the Turkish emperor have captured the Mediterranean Sea also. And as the Europeans were trying to use this Mediterranean Sea route to continue their business or trade, and the Turkish people or the Ottoman emperor now applied a huge amount of tax on this transport or on this business. So it became a very difficult phase for the eastern part or the Europeans. Now they started searching for immediate alternatives in order to carry on their trade, because the Ottoman Turkish people were applying a huge amount of tax on this business trips. In the 15th century, the Portuguese prince Henry the Navigator, he have sent several explorers, or you can say discoverers, and they had gone for voyages, and they found out discovered different continents. He prepared maps. Okay, so Henry prepared maps based on these explorers or explorations. In 1488, an expedition led by Bartholomew Diaz reached the southern tip of African continent, and this place was later on known as the Cape of Good Hope. Okay, this was later on known as the Cape of Good Hope. In 1497, another Portuguese explorer named as Vasco da Gama, he from the same route went, and he was trying to discover India. First he went to Calicut, then he came across Indian Ocean, and by the end around 1498 he discovered India. Who discovered India? Vasco da Gama. Okay, in 1492 Christopher Columbus, an Italian sailor living in Spain, and the king and the queen of Spain also gave him huge amount of money for this voyage. And after sailing westward across the Atlantic Ocean for 2 months, he landed on the Caribbean islands in the Central America. So he went to Venezuela also. So until his death, means before his death, he thought that he is going to the west and he wants to discover, but he didn't even knew that he was standing somewhere in the American continent. It was a new continent. So the continents which got discovered during this period in the 14th century, what happened? Spain and Portugal divided these newly discovered lands into east and west between themselves. They discovered and they have divided these areas among themselves. These discoveries led to growth of trade and commerce and new class, that is a merchant class, that is a business class. Merchants are the persons those are doing the business. The business class emerged, or this class was something new which came into existence. The wealthy merchants and the professional class consisted of doctors, lawyers, teachers, were the middle class, and this merchant class, or you can say professional class, or the middle class, were very powerful and very influential that time, because they were able to gather knowledge, and they were even uh, enriching the world with their knowledge. Okay, the discoveries also enriched people's knowledge of the world geography. Next is Reformation. What kind of reformations we found? The very first thing is the medieval period was centralized towards the religion. It was during the medieval period, religion was the center of human activities. The lives of people in Europe revolved around the Roman Catholic Church and its supreme head, the Pope. The authority of the Pope was absolute and could not be questioned or challenged. You can understand whatever was being said by the Pope was exactly accepted by the Europeans, and they were blindly following it. Maybe the interpretation is right or wrong, they were not cross-checking it. Whatever the Pope have said is the ultimate word. And what was the people taught there? The people was taught, or the people were focusing on the spirit of spiritual matters, like the religious matter, and they were preparing for the life after that. After that what is going to happen, they were thinking about that totally. Now the Christian monasteries became exclusive center for education. These are the operation, and whatever wrong was being done, and there was nobody to question in the medieval period. So the Reformation movement came into existence. The Reformation was a protest movement against the authoritarianism and evil practices. Authoritarianism means the rule of the church, that is a wealthy. Now church have become very wealthy, very rich, and it was their rule. So they are saying that there was a Reformation movement against this, against the Roman Catholic Church. It was a revolt against the orthodox conservatism and blind faith. Okay, this was a protest movement. In Christian religion we are having two sections. Okay, one is the Catholics and the other are the Protestant. So the Protestant didn't believe in the whatever the Pope was saying, because they were asking for the logic, they were asking for the evidences, and so they were protesting against the blind faith, or the orthodox or the conservative theory whichever the Pope was following. What are the causes of Renaissance? It had set a motion of advent of new and powerful ideas of humanism, rationalism, and scientific spirit, and the spirit of inquiry. This was the first cause. People started questioning, people started being rational, being logical. They were not having any more blind faith, they started having scientific spirit. Okay, they were inquiring more and more, questioning people, they were questioning church, they were questioning Pope, that why so and so is happening. So what happened mainly was, during this period the Bible got translated from Latin to regional language. As it became easily available for the common people, it got translated to regional language. Now people started reading Bible and got to understand what exactly Jesus Christ have explained all about, and how the Roman Catholics were ruling, how the Roman Church was ruling. So there they understood the difference. that what is said by the our founder, that is Jesus Christ, and what the Pope is doing. From there they started totally ignoring the teachings and the blind faith which is not mentioned in the Bible. They started totally rejecting those ideas. The teachings of church were rejected and its authority was challenged. Okay, people had finally found truthful and rational answers to their questions and discovered the real truth about themselves and their environment. Okay, now what were the evil practices done by the Roman Catholic Church? During the early medieval period, the Pope and the priests were known as the clergy. Okay, priest lived a very simple life, and they first believed that they are going to serve the common people. The welfare of the people was their main aim. But later on, as time passed, this clergy and the priest and the Pope started living a very luxurious and comfortable life, and they forgot about the mankind, that humankind, and they forgot about and ignored about the services. A huge fees was charged for conducting religious services. People had to pay more, and then there was bribery, there was corruption all over the place. The church started selling indulgences. What is the meaning of indulgences? Indulgences means a kind of certificate. This certificate was known as pardon by God. A certificate was made if anybody used to commit any kind of sin, any wrong a person used to do, then they used to go to the church, pay some amount of money to the Pope or to the priest, and they used to get those certificates. Those certificates were passport to the heaven. They used to think the sin they have done can be washed away by the amount of money they'll pay to the church. Okay, so this was the thinking, and these were the wrong things which were done by the Roman Catholic Church of that time. Hopefully you understood the chapter. Thank you.